These cards are repopulated into hand for the sake of the Devil Dinosaur. My opponent with 5 cards in hand. If he plays anything to the Orchis Forge, gonna be just fueling my own Accuser, and then the Vibranium putting us up and over the top. Watch. Here comes a Hawk out of the blue. Let's see it. Sentinel flips, populates back. Also copies the Sentinel back into hand as well. So our max, we hit 6, not 7, not the max. Still so good. Oh, he was just dying to the Shang-Chi anyway. But then I get the Titania, it's not even close. There we are, there we are. Ooh. This feels really good. This feels really good when you have the featured location. Welcome my friends back to Marvel Snap. Orchis Forge is the latest featured location being added here into the game, I guess directly from a Lord of the Rings Marvel crossover. Ooh, that would actually be exciting. After you play a card here, add a Sentinel to your hand. Now there are a number of different cards and decks that are going to be able to have strong performances with this location, but it especially gives us an excuse to break out Ronan the Accuser, which is going to be the deck that we are highlighting today. Well, let's break everything down. The card generation of the Forge synergizes strongly with the Quinjet. The large hand size synergizes strongly with Devil Dinosaur, and the opponent having a large hand size synergizes strongly with Ronan the Accuser. We're bringing together as many elements as we can muster here for this specific list. One other call out that is worth making is that I think the discard Dino deck here would be pretty interesting. You're taking a very hybrid approach here, either building up a large hand size to be able to fuel your Dino, or building up a large hand size to be able to fuel an enormous MODOK discard into a Morbius scaling factor. It's a little bit clunkier, but it deserves honorable mention. If you enjoy that style of play style or the hybrid kind of deck, now is a great time to break it out. But let's go back to our oh so eloquently named Orchis Forge Scum list. We have the powerhouses in the Devil Dinosaur and the Ronan. We can duplicate them with the Mystique, and then we can even combo together alongside the Mystique. If we set up either Devil Dinosaur or Ronan on 5, you could play Mystique to copy the Ronan and Max on 6, an incredibly effective play, or you could play Mystique to copy the Devil Dinosaur and then still be able to squeeze in something like the Sentinel. If you have the Forge playstyle, you'll be able to guarantee getting extra Sentinels into hand. That will then all be one cost because of the Quinjet, if you've been able to establish that earlier on, and you can just stack up the Dino and a ton of points on board at the exact same time. Now, we are trying to walk a very balanced line between the Devil Dinosaur and the Ronan here. The Devil Dinosaur is much more proven playstyle, so honestly, cutting out stuff like Baron Mordo and Maximus to be able to bring in Agent Coulson, Agent 13 for the Iceman are going to be very flexible moves, things that will be able to perform well for you. Aero is a strong control finisher. I feel like you have to have Shang-Chi in the current meta. If you want to be really cheeky with things and are expecting opponents to be running similar playstyles with the Devil Dinosaur and the Ronan the Accuser, then the dark technology is, of course, the Rogue. If you've got a Rogue that's been lying around on the shelf and you want to dust her off, this is the time to do it. Otherwise, we are looking at Baron Mordo, forcing them to get the card draw and then trying to brick that card. 6 cost, hopefully they never play it, and it will just fuel our Ronan in the future. Beautiful new Sentinel art. We had to bust him out. The efficiency of the Sentinel when you've got the Quinjet is incredible, and also the Collector. The Collector is another flex card to be able to bring in here if you don't want to be running the Baron Mordo, but I get so few opportunities to run the man in green, we had to do it here. Mystique, of course, is looking to be able to duplicate the Devil Dinosaur. The Ronan, in the strangest of scenarios, you could even pair her up with the Quinjet, because then the Sentinels that you grab are going to be free, which sounds like a great stat line for me. Max, of course, being able to give the opponent the extra cards, fuel our Ronan. If their hand is just clogged up with Sentinels, then hopefully they're not drawing powerful cards out of the deck, and we're able to get great efficiency there as well. Shang-Chi for the control, Moon Girl to be able to get the classic double Devil Dino or just burst up the Devil Dinosaur on that final turn. White Queen to give us scouting information and another big finisher option. And then, of course, the Aero, Devil Dinosaur and Ronan holding down the center of the deck. Let's dive into our showcase. I would love to hear what style of decks you guys have been trying, and it's District X. It's always District X as soon as you want to have a new deck to showcase. It ain't gonna happen. Honestly, we've got powerful cards here that if this final location is the Orchis Forge, we can still do very well for ourselves. They got a double Nightcrawler. I hope that doesn't synergize too well with what they've got going. But if you guys enjoy this style of deck guide, then show some love to the video. The comments, the likes, they all help signal boost us out to the rest of the community. Eternity range. I'm going to ignore you, and I am going to go for just slamming Sentinels to be able to get me Hulks. Does the opponent run Shang Chi? With District decks, quite unlikely. I think whoever is going to be able to get the advantage here out of the Gamma Lab is going to be able to maintain that advantage. Oh, of course, they can move the Nightcrawler. Mr. Fantastic. So they are a Hulk up. Woof, woof. We do have, I mean, Devil Dinosaur, Mystique, Sentinel. It's a great line for us. And am I about to play the Atuma? I think I'm about to play the Atuma. It's not Atuma. Onto the Eternity range, 410 stat line. Let's see the enemy beat that. Hawkeye? Yeah, it's not going to do it. Swordmaster cuts their Doom, which was their normal, the normal card borders. That was, I'm trying to feel out anything I could possibly expect from the deck, but I feel like that's a bit of a losing proposition. Try and calculate. Final turn, Mystique Sentinel. We're putting a lot of pressure on him. I feel like I want to throw the Dino down mid. Not going to snap. I play a single card. Mr. Sinister. You're still struggling to keep up with the Atuma, but then again, you've only invested 3 energy at this point, and I've invested 4. Ooh. Well, if only we'd been able to drop that down with our... We'd have to have, instead of the Devil Dinosaur, if we could have had the Master Mold early, and then we could have had the Ronan. Could have been a beautiful pairing. I still feel good about where we are at. Tuck it down like this. Devil Dino is still going to drop by 2, but we're ahead at every single location. There's so much unknown. They're going to snap? Are you trying to scare me off? Or do you just not think that I have synergies? The Hawkeye, the Mr. Sinister, these are new. The Dr. Doom and the Nightcrawler, and you were like Doom Wave, I'm anticipating. They could be running the Shang-Chi, of course. Playing a single card here. Hella. Gives them the Dr. Doom. Oh. Wow. Wow. District X gave them a functioning deck, and they had a killer card that got discarded as well. You know, props to the opponent on that one. I'm still pretty happy with our stat line performance, but it doesn't hold a candle to what they were given. Ronan, the Devil Dino, the Sentinel. The gang's all here. Shang-Chi for a little bit of control. I like it. Now just show me the Forge world. The Forge land. Sentinel is so big. Central Park, gonna gum up the locations a little bit here. I think I go Sentinel, right? Yeah. Obviously want to develop the Quinjet to get the extra energy efficiency. But if I have to play full price, I mean, what else am I going to be spending the energy on? For this list, nothing. So next turn, I'm probably going to play Quinjet Sentinel back. Avengers Compound. I could play the Baron Mordo instead. Sure. Have a 6-cost card. Please don't hit death. Baron Mordo, I swear, if you hit death, you're fired. Donald Trump voice, you're fired. Quinjet Sentinel is now discounted, and a wave. Ramp Destroyer, maybe a Nimrod if they're feeling extra spicy over there. Let's go into our Devil Dino. They're feeling happy with this. If they wave into a Destroyer, they get that Nimrod and still turn 6 Galactus us. Oh, they're just putting the pressure on with Kang? Okay. Interesting choice on how to use Kang for a wave. I guess Kang off of wave actually sounds like it would be beneficial to understand. Might make you, depending on what's in hand, make you make some different decisions. Nope, I wanted the Devil Dinosaur. Got the Sentinel in hand, not the Maximus. That's my thinking here. And they have spent their Kang. Still 6 cards in hand. You must have top-decked the Kang then. Hobgoblin comes across. Yay! We love Galactus. Galactus is so fun. Max here. Then I can Ronan Sentinel on the same turn next turn. Takes me up to just a bit above them. But I don't care too much. Psylocke. Energy cheats out the wazoo, but what do you do? What are you doing on this final turn? I think we got him. In spite of all their fancy shenanigans. Yeah. The fact that we're still a point ahead here. Their Psylocke play was very weak, but Dream Dimension does kind of screw the energy curve because they didn't find any ramping effects prior to the turn. It's late to snap. I think they just retreat, but honestly, I think they're retreating anyway. They have the Shang Chi in there, but they don't have answers for to come across the entire board. Iceman, Baron, and Moon Girl, and the Mystique. Jotunheim reveals. Avengers Compound. Bit of a slip of the mouse there that we didn't play the Iceman, but we'll be able to squeeze him in here. I think I hold Max. Well, we'll see what we draw. If I was to get Sentinel, I think I would Iceman Sentinel over Max. Otherwise, we'll just Max. Oh, nowhere? Interesting, interesting. Because I could Quinjet, Iceman, into a Moon Girl with then a discounted Maximus. Alright, we got a curveball on the top deck and I'm going to lean into it. Cosmo blocks the Iceman reveal. No on reveals here, eh? You don't like them? Don't want to have anything to do with them. I got to play the Moon Girl way out here. But then the Max is totally fine. Max, just carry me home, baby. Oh, my sweet baby, with all of your psycho drones in the background here. I'm worried, guys, that if I turn this into a foil background, that I'll lose the awesome glowing eyes. Does anybody confirm or deny? Will my Max card get murdered if it goes into the foil background? They go Shuri. All right. It's going to be hard to keep up with Shuri, but they could get locked in a little. I want to play the Avengers Compound anyway. Okay. We have Aero. I go Max. Max. Double Max. 14 points. What do you play? If you're going to play Aero doubled. No, you wait. Okay. So you have chosen death. So many Shuris are going toward the back to the pass on 5, dump 40 with the She-Hulk Taskmaster on 6. I saw that when the deck was first rising into prominence, and then it seemed to fall away a little bit, and now it's back. I don't think I snap. I think that would scare them away. I think they will. So this is turn 6 snaps. I was anticipating that the opponent was retreating on the last one anyway. Probably didn't need to snap if I wanted to try and squeeze out as many cubes as I wanted to. Here, if I snap, I think I would scare them away, but if I don't snap, I think they will play it out. And of course, I couldn't snap earlier because of how dominant. I mean, he could still get us here if he had the, yeah. There's plenty of ways that he would still get us here. Something like the Captain Marvel could have been able to redistribute the stats in a way for him to have an advantage. Even some of the Shuris teching in Doctor Doom themselves to be able to get around the Aero counterplay, but we nailed it here. There's the Forge World, and we even have the Quinjet to be able to set up on curve. This is the exact situation that I've been waiting to be able to find. This is actually my first, well, I was doing some testing, but then first game of the recording where I actually find the Forge. At last. At oh so long last. Yeah, give me the Baron Mordo. Which means, give me that 1-3. 1-3 Sentinel. They've got Quinjet themselves, and then the Thanos. So honestly, Thanos does fine with the Forge. Oh. I mean, both of our Quinjets. I get, honestly, a great deal of joy that it hit both Quinjets. 6 cards in hand. I flip first. I think that Max is not punished up against Thanos because they have overdraw anyway out of all the stones. Lockjaw, and then they got the full draw. The immediate counterpoint is revealed. I should White Queen over here because I need a Ronan on mid. Can't Ronan on Isle of Silence. I could go for Ronan on the Orchis Forge. We'll see how it shakes out. I love that the Soul Stone is disabled as well. That's just the extra helping hand for us. We got a Magneto. I think we'll for a Wasp. I think on that you just snap a little bit just to remind them that they flubbed. You drop in the Ronan here. Now if we find Devil Dinosaur, I definitely still play Devil Dinosaur, but otherwise we're copying this Mystique. Yeah, he's going into the Forge with his own Devil Dinosaur. Here we go. This Devil Dinosaur is going to be full force. Now, of course, if we get the Shang Chi, we want to pop it. Lockjaw is not being a good boy. He's playing fetch, but he's bringing up junk. Well, honestly, Aero win us the game. I feel like Aero has to win us the game here. There's no way he thins his hand down for the Ronan to get any smaller. I didn't play Bluestone as far as I remember to do any movement tricks. And yeah, that's all I got. Hang on, if he plays the Magneto that is moved by the Aero, he will reposition the Max and the White Queen. Which is why the Iceman is necessary to be able to take the win. Yeah, so it still comes through. The Max leaving doesn't make us lose, and the White Queen leaving doesn't make us lose with the Iceman coming in. Isle of Silence doing yeoman's work, silencing the Soul Stone. Love being able to punish when, you know, Lockjaw just comes up with the Wasp. And then the Space Stone. I never realized there's a microscope over here. What else is in the background? A couple beakers. All steampunk laboratory equipment. Very cool. No, he didn't want it. He didn't want it. Kaiser. I play Kaiser a lot. Get the Quinjet developed. Devil Dino and Ronan sitting around in hand. Just hoping to see the Forge pop up again here. There he is. It's perfect. It's perfect. Moon Girl, Shang-Chi. We get the Titania and Daredevil, and he gives me the Titania. I give it right back. Okay. There's my Sentinel. Honestly, I do want free Vibranium. I have winning pieces just in hand. Devil Dinosaur, Ronan the Accuser, Shang-Chi. This is all I need to be able to win the game. Give me free Vibranium on the side, please. And he's gonna snap. Okay. I'll run right at you, Kaiser. Let's have a good one. Sentinel coming in here. He's then gonna be a 1 cost. Would we look to draw? Honestly, if I just draw... Well, yeah, if I draw Vibranium, do I try and use Moon Girl to be able to duplicate it? No, I wouldn't be able to because I'm getting the Sentinel added back into hand. That could be a very fun trick if you get the... Oh, roping. Sorry. Didn't mean to. Goblin comes across. It still catches me out when the snap prevents your end turn. I wish there was some kind of, I don't know, other notification. But that is what had happened. Alright. Get me more. And then... So the Sentinel's going to come back into hand. I would like a chance to draw the Vibranium. But I could also Iceman to the Forge. Just for a little bit more balance, per se. Alright, I'll do it. Hand is going to be getting cluttered. Alright, he's going into the Forge. He's got some kind of plans. I'm surprised he committed the Goblin this early, because normally a Titania player is going to want to deploy the Goblin at a time where you can really lock it out. There we go. Iceman, and they get the Titania back. I guess he's happy enough with that. But now, really, he would like to be able to give it back to me, is the dream for him. So we'll put up the Devil Dino, and then we'll toss over the Vibranium. Yes? No? Yes. Yes. I can dive into the Orchis Forge with the Ronan and the Sentinel to be able to max out the hand size for the Devil Dino on the next turn. Does play to the Vibranium Mines. Singleton card. What's your turn 5? Is it Aero? It could be Aero with the style of control you've been running. Spider-Woman getting a lot of value there. Yes, we got the Vibranium. Oh, Quinjet doing work. What a turn. Shoo. These cards are repopulated into hand for the sake of the Devil Dinosaur. My opponent with 5 cards in hand. If he plays anything to the Orchis Forge, gonna be just fueling my own Accuser, and then the Vibranium putting us up and over the top. Watch. Here comes a Hawk out of the blue. Let's see it. Sentinel flips, populates back. Also copies the Sentinel back into hand as well. So our max, we hit 6, not 7, not the max. Still so good. Oh, he was just dying to the Shang Chi anyway. But then I get the Titania. It's not even close. There we are. There we are. Ooh. This feels really good. This feels really good when you have the featured location. So here is the deck in all of its Forge abusing glory. The raw power of Devil Dinosaur and Ronan the Accuser is just going to be able to run over the opponents, even if they are piloting the meta decks. We're still able to fit in the powerful control pieces of Shang Chi and Aero to hold the opponents back. We have plenty to do in the mid and early game, so we maintain a tempo. Man, this deck is fun. This deck is fun. The one, I feel like one of your flex options is if you have the Agent Coulson. I've been wowed by this guy, honestly. Either Moon Girl or White Queen could go for Agent Coulson, but that's your own call. Moon Girl, White Queen, very tried and true, incredibly effective as well. But the Coulson, just a little bit cheaper, creating the 2 cards. Fuel the hand size if you haven't found other pieces. Get those cards discounted by the Quinjet. Play your 5 cost on turn 4, etc., etc. Have a little bit of a wild card that the opponent won't be able to expect from looking at the rest of your list. It all comes together very nicely. I hope if you guys pick this deck up, it earns you many cubes on your climb up to infinite. And I'd love to hear down in the comments if you make any alterations or what other decks you are finding success with the featured location. Till next time, thank you guys for watching. Keep on snapping.